Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
What up, y'all? It's Joe Budden, here to talk about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win real money while watching football. You can get up to 100 times your money.
Prize Picks will give you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Just download the Prize Picks app and use code SPOTIFY. That's code SPOTIFY on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play a $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Don't Blame Me. Woo woo. We have an episode. What the fuck was I gonna say?
It's our season premiere.
Oh, it's our season premiere. That's literally not what I was going to say, but you're
know.
right. It's our season
just when
premiere.
you said that, I was like, oh wait, it is. Yep. Season 6, baby.
Wow. See, this is usually when things go downhill in TV shows. If you power on through 6 seasons.
I had such a fun idea for what our season 6 premiere would be, but quarantine.
What did you think it would be?
Well, I told you, I don't want to spoil it for the people out there because we
I forgot what you
might
told
do
me.
it again.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. You guys eventually, hopefully, when this is all done, we'll be able to do it.
Season 7.
Hell fucking yeah. Well, is anything new with you? Not that we were just not talking for 20 minutes.
My garden's thriving. I'm finished a
Hell yeah.
screenplay.
Oh my, okay, wow.
I'm doing pretty good.
That you sound like you're doing fucking fantastic. Don't ask me how I'm doing because I really cannot compete with a garden and a finished screenplay.
You had a freaking book come out. Come on, man.
Yeah, it did take 5 years though. And I got to see you a lot. I saw you an extra time. Was that this week? Was that Monday?
Yeah.
I did an episode for Candace and Kayla's podcast, Directionally Challenged, which is that going to be up by the time this is up? I'm not going to make you do math in your head. Just
I think it's the week after.
Okay, well, it's coming soon. And it was a jolly good time. I had some fun. Also, it was really cool after I did Sophia Bush's podcast.
No, it'll be up right now, the same day.
Oh, it's up now? Oh, guys,
yep, same day.
It out.
Coming out the same day.
That's another fun one. But I got a couple of messages from people who listened, didn't know who I was, and then listened to me on Sophia Bush's podcast and liked, and then started listening to our podcast and was like, oh, I love it. And I was like, oh, sick. And we were DMing and I did say, we would love to have you on my podcast when we're having guests and everything's less crazy. And she said she would love to. So
wonderful. You saw it. This is I remember us sitting on the blue couch with the brick background and you're like, she would be my dream guest.
She is the fucking coolest. I spent probably a good 20 minutes of just being like, you're so fucking cool. You're just the coolest. And it's so rare usually. I mean, I don't want to say so rare, but it is pretty rare to have someone who plays a character on TV who is the fucking best feminist and is just she was the fucking best, and then you get to know the actor who plays them and they're also the best, and I was like, wow, that's just amazing. That is it's a good feeling. So fingers crossed that will be able to happen once all of this is donezo, I guess we should get into this. If you guys want to give us a call for an upcoming episode, you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. And international listeners, you can send us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com.
Hi, Megan and Melissa. To start things off, my boyfriend and I are both 25. I'm a Virgo, he's a Scorpio, and we've been together for just over 6 years. And we just absolutely adore one another's families. We both know that we want to get married and that we wanted to finish our degrees first, which we did. We wanted to get our jobs, we did that, and now we just kind of want to grow up a little bit after college. So we weren't really planning on anything for the next few years. But we do know that we wanted to save up to own instead of rent. I also made it very clear that I wanted us to be established, to not have to live with our parents while married, just because of drama that has happened with my brother and their wives. We currently don't live with each other, by the way. So here's the kicker. His mom is the sole provider of his family. Dad's kind of a deadbeat, and younger siblings are financially irresponsible. And my boyfriend does what he can to help out, but she's still technically under the poverty line. They're living with his paternal aunt right now, but she's fed up, especially with his dad, and she wants them out. And they're expecting my boyfriend to buy a place and be financially responsible for his family. The thing is that he won't be able to buy a place big enough without my added income. And because of this, my boyfriend is feeling like we have to hurry up and get married and just kind of expedite that process, which we've been planning a long time. And we really, really wanted to be financially prepared for this, and we're just not at that place yet. And I know that emotionally he's also not ready for marriage. He thinks that they're only going to be with us for the first 3 years of our marriage, which, yikes. But my parents and I also have this worry. They're worried that they're not actually going to leave within 3 years, and they're also worried about the financial and emotional toll this will take on our marriage, which we aren't even technically engaged yet. So this is kind of like, I don't know. I love my boyfriend, and I love that he wants to take care of his family, and I do want to nurture that part of who he is, but I'm also terrified of jumping into a marriage knowing that it's going to be rough and emotionally exhausting from the get-go. I know that he doesn't think this is ideal either, and that he doesn't know what else to do, but at this point, I mean, I'm really questioning if I really want to continue this relationship as much as I do love him, knowing that this financial burden is just going to weigh on our marriage and possibly affect our future children, and where this is really going to leave us in the long run. Any advice or any thoughts? I'm sorry also, I have to be quiet because my niece is sleeping. Okay, thanks, bye.
Did she say she had to be quiet because he was asleep?
Yep.
Oh, God. I mean, I'm really glad that you said, I'm just like not sure if I want to continue this relationship, because I was like, shit, dude. Like, that's like the only option I can really see, because
yeah,
I think like if it was your family in this position, you would do the same thing, because it sounds like you're close with your parents. And yeah, I think it like, I don't blame you at all, but I do think, I don't know, I guess like my thought is that if this was like the right relationship for you, you might have like some qualms, but you wouldn't be questioning the relationship at all. Do you know what I mean? Like you might like be like not looking forward to that, or like being like a little like worried and apprehensive, but it wouldn't like, I don't think it would deter you. But I think the fact that you're recognizing that this is not something that you are cool with, that I think that you should go with your gut. And yeah, because I don't know, I guess like my mind, some people like support their families for their like, some children support their families for like financially for their whole lives. And I don't know, I mean, it can be a cultural thing, but it can also just be a financial security sort of thing. And I think that for you being worried about the financial security of your family, I think you also have to remember that he's worried about that too, but this is his family. So I think you're thinking about just your family in the future, and not his present family, who's always going to be his family. But it sounds like you guys you guys just have really different experiences and relationships with your parents. And Yeah, I think, I don't know. I also, I mean, like, I think, like,
Yeah, but
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, not just that, it's just like when you get married, you just want it to be like you and your spouse, and then having that extra pressure of having like not only just having like his family living with you, but also having to financially support them, because that's what you will be doing. Like, it will be part of your responsibility because he needs your income in order to get the house. Also, he's like putting a fast forward on the plans that you already have, and you're not ready to marry him yet because you want to be financially stable, and you're just not there yet. So it's just like, these feel like, for you, it feels like they're deal breakers because you already have the plan established for what you wanted, and now he's changing the plan.
No, true. So valid. No, that's so valid. Like, these are your deal breakers in this. And I think also, I think, like, regardless of how close you are with your parents, I think you talking to your parents about this is also kind of like, I don't mean the kiss of death in a way that like you fucked yourself over, but I think the fact that you opened up and talked to your parents about this and your feelings about this makes it pretty clear that I think you're ready to be done, because it is a stark contrast from how your parents are versus how his parents are. And that comparison and I don't think that's something.
And her brother had left.
Yeah, I just don't think that there would be I don't think that you would be saying that to them if you, I don't know, there's some like issues or struggles that you kind of keep, I don't want to say like ego-wise you keep them private, but you do keep them to protect your relationship because they don't have to do with these other people. And I think like you like talking to your parents through that, I think that's also, and again, I think when you go to your parents or people like that who are just caring about you, like, sure, they care about your significant other, but like you are you are the top. They're always going to take your side. It's so hard for parents and people like that to forgive like someone who's like done their child wrong, because they always take the side of your kids. So I think when you go to them for that, it's kind of that reassurance that you're in the right and like your feelings are valid. Your feelings are always valid, but I think that's kind of the epitome of for you subconsciously knowing that this is not something that you want to stick it through, which is also fine. Like, we talked about this on other episodes, like loving somebody's not enough, and just because you guys planned a future together doesn't mean that it's going to go to plan, and that plan can also be your deal breakers. And it doesn't make you like a bad person at all for not wanting to be a part of this, because ultimately there is somebody who would be fine with this, and that doesn't make you bad. It just makes you guys not the right fit and the right match for all of this.
Compatibility. Yep.
Yeah.
And especially you said you've been through it because your brother had lived, well, your brother and his wife, I'm guessing, had lived with your parents, and you already know what it's like. So yeah, I'm sorry. This is a lot, especially when you thought that you had met the person, and it still might be the person that you want to marry, but then there's other issues that are keeping you guys apart.
Yeah. I could not fucking do it. I would lose my goddamn mind.
I couldn't. I can't even, like, I mean, I can't even live with just like friends. So like when I have relatives that like you can't just like get rid of, it makes it even worse.
Oh my God. And the ones that like, especially if it's not your relatives, but like that they're still
they're the in-laws.
Yeah, they're still gonna kind of like parent you in that way, but most like the in-law parenting way is like usually more of like a judgmental parenting way than like a nurturing or smothering.
And at the end of the day, it's always gonna be and at the end of the day, it's always gonna be them versus you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well,
because they're gonna take each other's sides no matter what.
Oh yeah. Oh, always, and you're gonna be the odd one out, and that's. Ugh. And also, I want to say, it doesn't make your boyfriend like a pushover or a bad person, or his parents like bad people. It's just a different situation and different setup than And even if he like necessarily like this is not his ideal setup and not what he wants to do, you can't change that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like these were like the cards that he's been dealt, and he is going to do what works best for him, emotionally, morally, like with his family, and do what he needs to do. And yeah, like it can be like a whole, he wishes he didn't have to do this, I wish he didn't have to do this, but it doesn't really change the facts, which sucks, but also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sweet what he's doing, but that doesn't mean that it has to be for you.
Totally. Fucking totally. Well, shit. I'm really glad she brought up maybe we should just like not continue this relationship, because I was like, fuck, what the fuck am I gonna say?
Yeah.
Well, best of luck. I hope things are, I mean, I wonder if things are probably a little different now because you guys are you don't live together, so you're not quarantining together. So I wonder if that's been a good break to think about this. No?
I mean, she called in just a couple weeks ago, and she said he was sleeping. I know, but she said he was sleeping. She called in a couple weeks ago, so they might be quarantined together, but just not
officially living together.
You know.
Wow, can you imagine the first time you live with someone too, to be like living with them and their parents? Oh.
Nope, that's what I was saying. Like,
yeah, and like, how do you how do you like fuck? You know,
like you put them on the other side of the house.
That's so bad. Yeah, no. Fine for somebody, not good for you, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Should we go on to the next one?
Okay.
Hi, Megan and Melissa and potential guests. I am 19. I just finished my freshman year of college, and the beginning of last semester, so my first semester in college, I met my boyfriend at school. He's a junior, so he's a good bit older than me. And so we've been dating now for about almost 6 months. And he's my first love. And I love everything about him. And we have a great relationship, except he doesn't want us to be public. And I've told him that this makes me feel like he's ashamed of me, but he's explained to me that it's because he is worried that he's worried that people won't respect the fact that he's a junior dating a freshman, now a senior dating a sophomore. And he's very popular on campus. A lot of people know him. He's very high up there, and he's worried that people will look down upon him, but also he doesn't want that pressure put on me, he said. And I can accept that. Like, I understand that he doesn't want that pressure put on me. If that's going to be a negative thing for our relationship. But he also doesn't want me to meet his parents. And he said it's because he's never brought a girl home to his parents, and he wants that to be a special thing. And I understand that. But just the whole thing kind of like makes me worried. Like, my friends know about him. Some of my family has met him. And it worries me that he doesn't want me to meet the others. And the way he's explained it is that he's trying to protect me. But am I crazy for being upset? I obviously really love him, and I want to make a good decision, but I am worried that I might hold on to it just because he is my first love, and I'm worried about, I don't want to lose him, but I also don't want to let myself be put in a situation where I am being treated less than I should be. But yeah, I'm running out of time, but that's pretty much it. I guess my question is, am I crazy? And what should I do? How should I talk to him about it? Thank you so much. I love your podcast. I listen to it every single night. Bye.
Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God.
So
you're not crazy, but
it's so high school.
No, and
you're in college.
Like
who
he's
talks
like
about
also like in his 20s too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who talks about popularity like this in college?
Nobody. Literally fucking nobody. And
he doesn't think people are gonna look. Gonna look down on him because he's dating somebody younger than.
No,
this makes zero sense.
But it's not true. It's a fucking lie. Yeah. It's a lie. You're not crazy, but you're and I say this out of love, you're not crazy, but you're being stupid. And it's because you're being blinded by the fact that he's your first love and you are so into him and he's just fucking manipulating you. This is like the epitome of like fuckboy bullshit of turning it back on you, of being like, no, I'm doing this for you. I'm trying to protect you. Like this like literally sounds like the canned script from like the fucking Kissing Booth. Like this sounds like a fake ass script from like a throwaway one from a fucking Netflix movie of being like, I just don't want to do that to you. It's just like it puts first of all, it puts no pressure on your fucking relationship. He's not the goddamn president.
Right.
Like he's a fucking college dude. He's a piece of shit. The reason why you haven't met his family is because he either does not give a shit about you or he has a girlfriend and then he also still doesn't really give a shit about you
not
and
the
is just
only
enjoying
girl.
hooking up with you.
Period. You're not the only girl.
No. That's the biggest reason of that is because you are not like his friends and everybody does not know that. That's why. Like if it was like, oh, I don't want to tell my family, oh, and I don't want to post about us on social, but all of my friends know in person, then that means you got a girlfriend back home. But the fact that he doesn't even want like your fucking circle at school to know is because he is hooking up with and or dating a plethora of other ladies,
and he's telling them all the same thing that he's telling you.
And he doesn't even want like to not be public with you is the only, he just doesn't want that to even hurt his chances to obtain more pussy. Like it not even just like fuck up like the John Tucker situation he is going right now. He's like, nah, I want to like be able to sub people in and like swap people out. And I don't want you to get in the way of like me getting new fucking pussy.
Yep.
Oh my God. Girl.
Get out.
And it doesn't matter that he's met your friends. Like it literally doesn't matter.
No, because
they're
just your friends. Like he might be fucking one of them. I don't know.
No, you're like but exactly. Like he's like you're just like a little freshman to him, and like your friends in your circle, like that's not even a blip on his radar, but his social radar. Like that's why you haven't been able to be there for that. Like it is just a load of shit, and I hate to say that I have seen this so many fucking times in high school especially, but in college too, of those fuckboy upperclassmen and dating like the freshmen. Yeah. Like I've been in circles of friends who are hooking up with like seniors, and the seniors were like, oh yeah, like let's not tell anybody, like it'll be like our little secret just between us. And then it'd be like, oh, because lo and behold, he's fucking every fucking AKO. Yeah. Like good God. It's not because you're special at all. And also him saying, this is like when you have to like, instead of hearing what you want to hear what people say, like really taking it face value and dissecting that. But when he says that he's saving the person, he has never introduced anyone to his parents and he really wants that to be like a special person, that means that to him, you are not a special person. Yep. Like, and that
told
sucks
you straight up.
You think of him as like your first love.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of my book, but like not in the good way.
But he literally said, you're not special enough for me to introduce to you my parents. So
yeah, he's like, I've been saving that for someone who really means a lot to me.
That
and you're there,
I
like,
actually love
crickets. And he's like, yeah, no, not you.
Yeah.
You have to fucking break up with him. That's the power move you have to do, is you just need to like break up with him. I mean, more than that, I would just ghost him, because no offense, but like I don't even know if like you're like, if you break up with him, he'll be like, we weren't ever like a thing. Yeah. Like I think he could really flip that and turn that on you. I think the power move is straight up just fucking ghost him, and like do not text him, do not call him. Like just completely ignore him. And that is the ultimate power move that you need to do. Otherwise, you are going to get like publicly embarrassed. It's gonna like, he's going to be making out with some other girl at a party and you're going to walk in and it's going to like shatter your heart. Like it is an inevitable thing that's going to happen. And if you can end this on your own terms and like walk away from it with, again, that power move, you're just preventing yourself from, you're obviously going to feel hurt. But also because college circles are so small, but I mean, granted, now everything's like very different. I just think that it's either going to blow up in your face, or you can just take it for what it is right now and just be like, okay, I am dodging a bullet. Like, fuck this dude.
You might be
I'm
surprised by my thoughts on this, but I think the bigger power move is to actually dump him and not ghost him.
No, but I fully agree with you, but I'm just afraid unless you guys have like officially defined we're boyfriend girlfriend, I just feel like he's gonna flip it. Like if you guys have just been dating and you never like you're exclusively
in this situation, she could be like,
okay,
I don't want to see you anymore. It doesn't have to be I want to break up with you or I want
to
or I think we need to break up. It's like I don't want to see you anymore. And then end it with that.
Okay, no, I agree with you.
This is the one time I don't think you should ghost.
That we're saying. No, you're right. It is a bigger power move. You're right, though. I was just concerned that like she was gonna say like I like want to break up with you, and he was gonna be like we were never fucking dating, you loser. Because like that's just how I picture him talking.
He probably does talk like that.
He does 100%. He wears fucking tank tops. Ugh, you just know it.
Yeah, and he wears the sunglasses with the little, what's the thing called that you stick the string
straps?
The strap that you put your sunglasses on.
Yeah, the fucking straps. Yeah. And he always has like a koozie with him. Oh my god!
And he wears
all he wears are flip flops.
Sperry's.
Like that's the only thing.
Sperry's. He wears Sperry's.
Oh yes, you're right. That's all he wears. That's all he fucking wears. Ew, I hate this dude. And I just know he is not cute enough. Not that you can be cute enough to do this, but like he's not. No, there's just like no part of him that like makes any of this worth it. Like, ugh. What a fucking idiot. I hate him.
Yeah.
I just can't. I also just like you can't write this shit. And like I feel so bad and I'm like not laughing because at like you for like getting like I don't know, like questioning this or anything because like it's impossible to fucking see when you're in that situation you have feelings for someone because you will make every excuse in the book for them and like you can really reinterpret what they're saying to be like what you want to hear or like spin it in the best possible light. But as like a third party perspective, like it is just like give it some fucking time and some space away from this. And you're going to look back on this shit that he said and be like, wow, this guy is literally garbage. Like there's nothing redeeming about him. Like that is like the most abysmal piece of shit. And you're not even like fucking good at it. Like again, like it's like ripped straight from a fucking rom-com. Villain. He's the villain in a fucking rom-com. Like he is the guy that the girl starts off dating and then it's like, oh god, like he's horrible. And then she like meets her real Patrick Dempsey or whatever. Oh my god. It's literally John Tucker Must Die. Like truly, like watch John Tucker Must Die and you'll be like, oh shit. Okay, let's get into the next one.
Hi, Megan, Melissa, and probably not guest because of Miss Rona, but hi if you're there. I am 23 and I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years and like 2 weeks. So basically 3 years. And I literally am just driving and I'm thinking, when I do my best, realize that I literally never fantasize about having sex with him. Like, we have really great sex. Like, I love having sex with him. I literally would have sex with him 24/7 if I could, but not possible. But, like, I only ever fantasize about having sex with guys that I've had sex with in the past. I just realized. Like, is that normal? Am I fine? Like, does that mean something? I don't know. What do you guys think? Please let me know. Thanks. Bye.
Oh, wow. I don't know what that means. I think it could be like really innocent and innocuous and like actually mean nothing. But I think it also depends on, I don't know. I think like a lot of factors. Like, were you long distance with any of the other guys? Yeah. Like, did you ever do like like, did you ever do something that like you guys didn't get to hook up as much, so like you got used to masturbating to them? Or is it that like even in previous relationships did you think of the guys when you were dating them, or do you only ever think of people you're not dating?
Are you physically attracted to your boyfriend?
Yeah.
But I feel like if it's not like affecting your relationship when you're not having sex, then it's fine. You know, I think it's normal for your mind to wander during sex. But if it's every single time, that seems a bit off to me.
Yeah, I think there's definitely the fantasy of like fantasizing, and your boyfriend is, if anyone's gonna be like, my boyfriend is my fantasy, like, no, that's your reality. Like, that can be like, you can love it and it can be great, but it also just might be that your mind goes to not plausible situations just because like it's more creative and you need more like mental stimulation, and like you might need to kind of come up with these ideas. I think if they're like, again, I really have no fucking idea, but like my gut would say, if you're making up, let's say that you, every single time you're in a relationship with someone, you don't fantasize about that person you're in a relationship with. You only fantasize about people you've already been, like exes that you've been in relationships with. So let's say that as a total, because I think if your boyfriend's the only one, I would think that might be a little weird, but maybe you've been dating him way longer. But maybe it's the fact that like you need to come up with like you're coming up with like not only like there's situations of people that you've already slept with, and are you thinking about like specific instances or like times you guys have hooked up, or are you thinking about, are you recontextualizing it? Like, are you being like, oh, I'm imagining like we meet up at a lake house and like that's never happened before. Like, are you pulling like, is it kind of like in your dreams how like sometimes there'll be people like in your dreams, then some like, but then some people, I think they say like you've never, or you only dream about faces you've seen before. So like you
but
can't.
There's not people that you actually. No. Yeah.
So I wonder if it's something like that, like it could be like, it purely could just be like an imagination thing, that it's easier for you to imagine people you've already had sex with. And this is me like just being like, maybe you have a shitty imagination. Maybe you're not fucking creative, but like maybe that's the way, or like you have to imagine, you have to like think of getting off, and you can't creatively think of like getting off in a hypothetical sense. You think about other times that you've gotten off. But again, I think that only really works if like you also did this with other like boyfriends and like people that you've dated before. Because again, if you guys have like great sex and if you've been together, I don't remember how long you had said you'd been together, but like I get like if you're masturbating, maybe you're just not if it's because you're not having sex with him, and like you know what I mean? Like you could, like if you wanted to have sex, like I just think that like maybe like for the fantasy aspect of it, like you're choosing something that isn't so realistic. But I mean,
yeah, I want to know, what are you fantasizing about? Is it just like the other guy's faces are on your boyfriend's face, or are you creating new scenarios?
Or are you thinking about like that time we fucked on the 4th of July? Like, are you reminiscing? Right. And also, are you reminiscing about those relationships at any other point?
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, I just wondering, like, do you dream about your exes a lot? And
yeah, I think it's interesting that she said if I could have sex with him 24/7, I would. But like, yes, physically you're having sex with him, but mentally you're having sex with a whole bunch of other people too. So it's like,
dude, it's not like cheating. It's just mentally.
Yeah, right. It's like you're sleeping with so many people.
I'm a fucking hoe in my mind. That's so fucking funny. Yeah, it is. I wouldn't say that it's weird. I mean, I think I know
normal.
No, yeah. I just think that like, I think if you're concerned about it, I would then just like dive deeper to see like if there's a habit of like like has this happened before, like what is any of that, because I truly think it could mean absolutely nothing, and it could just be like a creative mindset sort of thing. The one thing I will say, I would not tell your boyfriend.
No,
I don't think you will, but like we've had so many fucking like girls who've called in whose like boyfriends have said like, oh yeah, I was like fucking fantasizing about like you and your best friend fucking, or like I like had a dream about that. So like just don't, like it's not something he needs to know. Also more likely than not, he's probably thinking about I'm sure he thinks about you at some points, but he's probably also thinking about like a lot of other stuff when he's getting off. But also if you guys are like, no, fuck no. Literally fuck no.
It's a big delay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not seeing. It's fine on my end.
It's okay. Keep going.
Yeah, I just want to know like more details. Like you can just give us like, if you call in with an update, if you can just like even give us more details than that, I think we would be highly curious. But I don't think, unless, again, like you said, unless this is like translating other aspects of your relationship, I don't think it's something to worry about. It might just be like a funny quirk about you. Like, I don't know. That's funny. Okay, guys, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. And we're back from our break, and let's get into the rest of the calls.
Hi, I am calling for advice, obviously. Me and my husband have, whenever we first started dating, he told me about how he had made a mistake whenever he was younger, and it resulted in the death of the girl that he was dating at the time. The girl that he was dating at the time, he thought was his soulmate and that he was going to marry her and stuff like that. And that I was basically his second soulmate, his second chance. Well, come to find out, during this mistake, he had actually gone into a coma for, I think he said, a month, and everything that he thought had happened didn't. He didn't actually kill her. He thought she had a twin, and she didn't. He has actually had contact with her ever since the accident and didn't even know. And now that he knows that she's alive, he is scared that he is going to fall in love with her, and he's terrified of that. And so am I. I'm scared he's going to fall in love with her and leave me. And I just need some advice on how to deal with this or what we should do so that doesn't happen, because I don't want to lose him like that, but I also understand that this may be something that has to happen. I've suggested he goes to therapy, but he has not wanted to do that just because he doesn't want to have to talk all of this out. So I don't know. If you could just give me some advice, that would be great. Thank you.
What the fuck?
This sounds like a movie plot. It doesn't.
No, it sounds like a fucking soap opera. I can't believe you didn't compare it to that.
No, I mean, that's where I was going to go, but I didn't.
Wait, so how did he think that he killed her?
She didn't specify. Also, you had a minute and a half left where you could go into more details. So
I wonder if she doesn't have more details. Like, I wonder if he's being fucking like ominous and weird as fuck. That she doesn't even, like, how would he? Okay, so
he thought he killed somebody, his girlfriend.
Okay, can we say that we thought that he got, like, okay, so if he was in a coma, let's assume it was a car crash.
Okay.
Because, like, I don't know why you would,
sense.
Like, that makes more sense,
Yes,
like, why he was in a coma.
Crash.
I'm not laughing at that, I'm just laughing at the idea that, like, imagine he shot her and then he forgot.
Yeah. He was driving a car. He thought he got into a car crash. He thought he had killed his girlfriend. He was in a coma. So he didn't actually kill her. Okay.
But
then years later, he realizes that he had been in a coma and none of that happened.
But he's been talking to this girl the whole time.
Yes.
Did she not tell him?
But he's been talking to this girl this whole time, but he didn't realize it was that girl.
No, but what did that girl say? Did that girl be like, "Hi, we dated. Like, I am your girlfriend"?
Also, and no one else in your life was like, when you woke up, no one was like, "Hey, you killed that girl," or like, "Hey, here she is." Like, this makes zero sense to me. No sense. Like, if they thought you like even accidentally killed, the police would have came and questioned you. Did you have memory loss? Well, obviously he had memory loss because he doesn't remember a lot of this. Did he wake up like as a new person, like how Jason Morgan used to be Jason Quartermain? He woke up and he didn't realize that he used to be this person, and now he has a completely new attitude.
But, like, like, I'm just picturing, like, let's say everything went exactly how this is happening, and this isn't your boyfriend, like, lying to you in the most obscene way.
No, it's her
and,
husband, not boyfriend. Remember, this is her husband. This makes it worse.
What?
Yes, this is her husband.
I have goosebumps all over my fucking body. That's her husband?
Husband. That she's afraid is going to leave her for this girl that he thought he had killed in the coma, but like this girl has not obviously reciprocated the feelings because she hasn't said that I was that girl.
Yeah, I mean the dark thing that my mind, not dark, but like the more like realistic thing my mind is going to is either the not sad version and just more like dick version is he's just lying to you because he like took a creative writing class and is like doing that, or the sad version is he's having like a full-on psychotic breakdown and like is making this up. Because like if you guys are married and like regardless of when this was, like I would just like fucking dig deep, find like the medical records of him being in the hospital for this coma and like find all of that stuff. Like
I would talk to the girl.
Yeah, no, I would talk to the girl too, but like talk to like if his parents were in his life or anything like that, and like figure that kind of stuff out, because it's fucking insane. But like it's so insane to the point that like there's not one of these theories that I'm like, oh, it's definitely like I have no idea. I think it could just as likely be like him having a psychotic break or having a psychotic, because if you've known this for a while, then I'm not going to say like what are they called? Like a sudden psychotic, I forget what they're called, but like a one that if you like mix medications and you can have like a psychotic episode. If this has been going on for like some time, if you like notice any other like erratic behavior or like changes in like personality shifts or anything like that, I would just reach out. Because him not wanting to go to therapy, it's like, again, if you thought you killed somebody, I didn't even fucking think about the police part until you said that, which is like, oh my God, you're right. Like if you were gonna be like, I don't know, like fucking tried for homicide or a vehicular like manslaughter, like involuntary manslaughter, anything like that, like, but more than that, if you had gone through this, I'm pretty sure you like anyone in his life would have like encouraged him to go to therapy. Like that would have been
probably would have. I mean, at the hospital, they would have had a shrink come in to talk to him when he woke up. Nothing about this story is adding up. And I'm going from the perspective of, let's say everything he's saying is true in his mind. You should be questioning what he's saying. And it doesn't seem like you're questioning any of it. You just think that he's going to leave you for this other girl. So if you really care about him, then you should want to get to the bottom of this. Right?
Yeah. Because this is like, and again, I think the reason why this call is so short and she didn't include much is because I don't think you know. Like, I don't think, like, I truly think in this situation is so crazy. There are like some people who call in and they're like, oh, I can't fit it into the 3 minutes. And it's like, it's just because like he's got such a good dick. Like it's all of this qualifying stuff. And I always tell people, I'm like, cut out any details that as a listener, you wouldn't give a shit about. Like, no offense, but like if it wasn't your own life, would you not need to hear that to like think about the advice and what you would do and think of like what you would do in that situation? But then there's ones that like are so detailed and like so chock full of all of this stuff. Like even the girl who like met the guy on the crew, like on the boat and all of that, she called in twice to get it all in. And there was no unnecessary details. Like she got everything in. This is such an insane situation that I feel like this is all you know. And I think you're right that you're just going off of his word because like you love him and you trust him. But this is like so insane, and I just would like you said, I would get to the bottom of it. And I will also say, if you're fine, like if you are noticing that he's being like erratic and like making rash decisions, but he isn't like really being like himself, I mean, we give the snooping advice all the time. I would not tell him that you're looking into this. Like I would just like when he talks to you, like hear him out and listen to him. And if I were you, I would talk to a professional. And like if you start to see that like this is not really happening, I would start to go to therapy and then talk to a therapist of like, hi, how do I, whether it's doing an intervention with my boyfriend or like, how do I do this? Or even saying like having your like talking with a therapist and getting their input and their advice on how to like move forward and talk about this and address it. But if there's like, I just like, what if it's all true? Like, what if she just finds it all?
I know.
And like, did you know that he got in this car accident? Like, she must have known from the beginning when they
we're
dating.
saying it's a car accident. It could be anything.
I have to fucking believe it's a car accident because, like, imagine the like he thinks that he kills her, and then he's in a coma for something unrelated.
It could have been he could have like killed her and then like hit his head on something. Like he did it in like a blackout. But still, where are the police?
Yeah, where's this girl's family?
Yeah.
And wait, so hold on. We have to go back to what was the twin part?
Twin?
There was something about a twin.
That's a very soap opera. Hold on.
No, there was. Can you imagine me look it up and it's literally just like a plot from a soap opera and it's like he fell asleep watching the TV.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But
the thing why I don't think it's a soap opera is because you would have had to been trapped in one person's mind and then went back.
Oh.
That's why I went movie instead of soap opera.
Totally makes sense. Wait, find the twin part. I'm gonna close my curtains really quick.
Oh, we missed. You're right. He thought that she had a twin, and so he must have thought that this girl that he's been talking to was the twin and not actually her.
Wait, so he thought that the girl that he was talking to...
He thought the girl that he killed had a twin. So maybe he thought that the girl that he's been talking to was the twin and not her.
And she never corrected him?
And like, does she have a different name?
Like, does she actually have a twin?
Right.
Like, did they date this whole time? And like, did a twin resurface? I have so many fucking questions.
I want you to go back, listen to this call several times, like our answer, like what we're saying, and write down every question that we have and figure out how you can work this into normal conversation and report back, please.
Yeah. And if at any point you're like afraid for your like own physical well-being or his physical well-being, it's not being overprotective to like call any hotline or anything to like kind of talk through steps and protocol to go through all of this. And if you do feel like even just the first time talking about it, if you like want to get these answers but you're a little worried, well, you can't really do that now, but like I don't know what state you're in, but like maybe you're in a state where you can go on like social distancing like picnics and go to a place that there's like more people around or something like that, so you kind of have that buffer if you're worried about his like reaction. And if you're worried and like if you're worried about like if you have no quote unquote like no reason to like think that he's gonna get like aggressive or violent or anything like that, but like you're just worried, still do that. Like if you're even if he's given you no reason to think he's like that, if you have that like little like gut like, oh, I'm worried, like trust that.
Here's the reason why you should worry. Because in his mind, he has killed somebody.
That's what I'm I'm like afraid for you.
Yeah.
Like, I have so many goddamn fucking questions.
Yeah.
Because like, I know that there's like, I don't know a ton about like psychosis. no, I know a bit just through a really like super super sad situation that happened to someone I know, but I don't know a ton about it. I guess I actually know two people, but I mean I don't know a ton about it. I know also just like age wise too, if he's like schizophrenic or something, that he's like undiagnosed, if he's in his like early to mid 20s, like that is a really big diagnostic time for a lot of mental like disorders in general, but especially schizophrenia. Oh my God, I lied. No, I know a couple people who had I know a couple people who have had it's I don't even know, it's like a I don't want to like speak wrong on it, but like if he like partied a ton or did a lot of like hallucinogenics, like it can, if you already have that and that's going to happen, it can kind of speed up that process or can kind of like kick it in. And people who I know have had like drug-induced psychosis and like have never come out of it and have like always are now dealing with that kind of stuff. But it's like such a big deal sort of thing. So like if he's not seeing a professional or going to therapy, like he should even, like the fact that he doesn't want, like this is the part that like makes me be like, oh God, like if he doesn't even want to explain this to a therapist, in my mind, that goes to like the paranoia of being like, no, they're going to think I'm crazy, like all of that kind of stuff. When if it was like a totally true, really crazy story, I personally don't have like experience obviously with something this like absolutely wild, but I would think that it would be more, I really need to talk to a professional about this, as opposed to I really don't want to talk to a professional about this. Yeah. Or maybe he like ran from the fucking cops and like he thinks that this is like gonna like
coma.
That is so true. They like fucking handcuff you to the bed. I've seen those movies.
So
I also
he
just want
had
to know
have passed out at some point. You know, like if you're in a coma, he had to have some type of trauma.
Oh yeah. This is not like 50 First Dates at all. I'm baffled. I'm so baffled. I don't even like, like you said earlier, like I need you, the caller, to start asking more questions and start questioning this, because this is just not like, there is no option or like path that we've gone down discussing this that is like not crazy or wild
of the arm of the norm.
Yeah, like there is no scenario that we've explored that is like, that makes sense and is nothing to worry about. Like regardless, this is like a lot, and I just, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I'm unwell. I am unfucking well.
All right.
I can't believe it. I'm just thinking about the twin again. Okay, guys. So we have both a Don't Blame Them and an update. Are we going to go Don't Blame Them first?
Yeah.
Okay. What episode is this one from?
This is from an episode with us, our February Eminem episode. And so the original caller, she had a girlfriend that was married and wanted to also date the girl's husband. Yes.
Yeah. It was a Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius combo.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that.
I remembered that because I was like, you got two big ass crazy egos and you have the chillest other factor. And she was the chill factor.
Yeah.
That's
so this is somebody calling with a similar experience. Go figure.
What? That's amazing. I love this. You guys are so much cooler than I am.
I know.
I'm jealous.
Hi, Megan, Melissa, and potential guest. I'm a 26-year-old Virgo calling in reference to the caller in episode 22 who was calling for advice on wanting to potentially enter a polyamorous relationship with her girlfriend and her girlfriend's boyfriend. I have been in a polyamorous relationship for 6 years, and I have a little bit of experience on this, and I have a few things of advice that I would like to say. Number one, definitely reach out to the community, do your research, educate yourself on polyamory, swingers, open relationships, everything that falls kind of under this category the best that you can. Watch a lot of videos, talk to as many people that you can, ask questions, and in general, just kind of dive into what community that you could potentially be entering. There's a lot of really good information there, and this can help you decide if this is something that you really want to do. Second thing that I want to say is talk to your girlfriend and be as honest and open as you can with what you would like for your relationship. And hopefully she will do the same to you, and she can explain to you maybe more what the dynamic of her relationship with her boyfriend or husband, I believe, is, and you can learn there if this is something that, potentially is possible. And then the last thing I just want to say is definitely be really careful. You want to think of yourself first, just because these relationships can get kind of messy. There are a lot of horror stories where couples will bring girls into relationships and then end them, and then the girl is losing two people who she, loved and cared for very much, and this can be very difficult. And I encourage you to take this road if this is something that you really want for your life, but also to be very confident in that decision and make sure that you are open to potentially the hurt and the self-growth that comes with that pain coming from it. And I hope for you that you figure it out and you have a good experience, and love the podcast. Thank you guys for doing this. It's really awesome. Thanks again. Bye.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. Wow. I didn't even think about, obviously, but I really didn't even think about the sense of that obviously, like, if you break up, like, you are like, it's like a double heartbreak. Like, you're losing two people, not just one.
Mm-hmm. That's
a really
true.
good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Great call.
Well, fuck
Thank
yeah.
you.
I've never been in a polyamorous relationship, so I have nothing else to add. I think that was great. And yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you for calling in. Should we get to our update? What is our update for?
Our update.
Oh God, your face. Your fucking face. Dude. You have to, guys, if you're not watching the video version of this, first of all, you have to, because it is a roller coaster, because I constantly am moving and changing the light and just like doing shit all the time. But also you have to look at her fucking face, like Melissa's face, when there's like a specific face, and I just know that it means, I don't know what's coming, but something's fucking coming. Okay, we have to address it for everybody watching. I've gone through 3 cameras in this episode. Please don't comment that you like this one the best, because this is the one that doesn't hold the charge as long, and it's like the heaviest, biggest one that stops recording after 20 minutes. So yeah, we just need to figure our shit out.
And I've been on my iPhone 10 the whole time.
I need to figure my fucking shit out. Okay. Let's let's get back into it. So it's the update from...
Yes. So this is the update from the Eminem episode in February. So we had... I just want to draw this out. So we had someone call with similar experience that their friend had gone through the same thing. And we talked about it in the Megan Tonjes episode, but this is an update to the original caller, who I think I know by the look on your face, you know who I'm talking about.
The brother fucker.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You ready?
Physically, yes. Emotionally, no. Oh my God. Fuck. Okay, I'm ready. Fuck.
Hey girls, it's the bitch who fucked her stepbrother. What's up? So, I realized I left out a lot last time because I don't want someone to find out who I am. But for context, they found out from taking one of his phones and reading our messages, and we were both older than 18 and met at like 17, 18-year-olds. And we were in college, so we shared a room and a car for a short period of time while our parents got married. And then once they got married, we got a big house and everyone spread out. We didn't grow up together. We have known each other for like a year before this all started. But anyway, so Christmas passed. It's been, by the way, we're all both in our 20s now. Like, it's been a long ass time. Christmas passed. We fucked and we kept fucking. And, girl, like, I know I need a therapist. But guess what the fuck happened? I literally saw this man. Okay, it's literally freaking May. I saw this man 3 days ago, and we slept together or whatever. Yesterday, we had a family event, and he brought the girl he was talking to. I wanted to die. He didn't even tell me she was coming. He just walked in, and I looked at him, and my eyes grew up, and I had that dumbass smile on my face like you do when you see this stupid-ass fucking dude that you like. And then behind him, she popped out. And I instantly teared up, and I was just like, okay, like, this is actually the end. Like, it's completely over for real now. And now I'm trying to process losing this big-ass, long-ass relationship with this man. And I'm trying to figure out if the best way for me to get over it is to tell him how I feel and then, like, block him out of my life, or just kind of, like, step away and try to move on. It sucks so bad with the quarantine because I can't meet anyone new, so, like, cutting off him with no distraction is killing me. And I was just watching the episode over again to try and answer some questions, and I definitely think I fell in love with him. I've never felt this much pain in my entire life. When we had to separate after I got an abortion, it literally felt like my heart was like tearing apart, and he feels like a piece of me. And really, I'm just trying so hard to get back to the person who never knew him. Like, I just want to not feel like I need to call him every other day. Anyways, hope your day's going good. Bye.
I fucking called that. I said he's going to bring a fucking new girl around and it's going to wreck you. And
but
he did.
We also said for you not to have sex with him anymore.
And she didn't care. She did.
Yep.
Also, your family fucking sucks at social distancing. Unless it was a funeral. Like, being like, we had a family...
Funeral doesn't even count because I had a funeral during all this.
No, true. But I just mean, like, in the sense that, like, I don't want to, like, shit on them if they, like, yes, you shouldn't have a funeral on this. But, like, if it was a funeral, I'm like, I would be like, I'm empathetic of your loss and I want to address your loss. So if it was a funeral, I address your loss. But, like, that's not what you're supposed to do for social distancing.
Also, he shouldn't have been bringing this other girl.
That's what makes me think it's not a funeral. That's what makes me think that it's
she said
a fucking
family
barbecue.
Gathering, like it was
exactly
like a
fucking barbecue.
Reunion. Yeah.
Dude. This is like, I don't know how I feel like the age thing now knowing, because it just is so, like, you have to go to therapy. Like, because it's
There's
just
something
so
I don't
odd
understand,
because,
though,
like,
when she said that the age stuff, because she said we were older than 18 and then she said we were 18, 17. Is that what she said?
Oh, wait, wow.
Do you want to play?
No,
play
you're
it again?
right. No, she's on it. She's trying to get us on a technicality.
Yeah, and
she's
then she said
she's trying to play
so long. Yeah, she's like, it happened so long ago and we're in our 20s now. But, like, you didn't specify how far in your 20s. And if you guys have still been having sex throughout all this, it wasn't long ago. Like, it's still actively happening.
No, I think she's trying to play both sides of our argument last time, which was, oh, you were probably really young and horny and didn't, like, know better. And hopefully you guys, and you then, like, but if you guys knew each other for a long time and grew up together. So she's like, oh no, we didn't know each other for super long, but, like, we were like 18, 17. It's been going on for so long, but that doesn't check out. If you guys,
maybe that's when they were 18, 17 when they met. Yeah. And then 18, 19 when they started having sex.
But, like,
that's still not that long though.
No. And I also just, like, don't get, And you said it before in the first call where it was like, like the convenience of like someone who like a hot boy moves in and like when you're like young and horny and it's just like, oh, we can hook up. But like you guys were only there for like a summer before you went to college. And that was the only summer. Like it just makes
and then they got a bigger house and spread out. But then she was talking about college too. Your story isn't really adding up.
No. And it's, like, I think you really want us to focus on like, how to get over this. But like, you don't end up in this situation in the first place without having some shit you have to work through with a professional because you ended up here. That's the whole thing with therapy. And people are like, oh, like, I don't need therapy. And it's like, okay, cool. Are you still making mistakes or doing things or are you in situations that have relationships or things? Is there anything in your life that you are unhappy with? And if it's like, yes, okay, well, then have you tried to fix it on your own? Yes. Oh, has that not worked? No, it hasn't worked. Why is it going to work now? Like, that's what I always think about therapy of like, with anything, like the reason why you go is because like, if we could, as my therapist says, she's like, if we could all like snap our fingers and fix ourselves, like we would. And like, there are some things that like you can work on and like go like and deal with and like come out the other side and improve on your own. But if you've been trying on like specific aspects of your life or things that are going on that you're like, how the fuck did I end up here? Or like, why does this keep happening to me? Or like, how come I'm not in a relationship and I've always wanted like, what are these things that like I've tried to fix this and I haven't been able to? You need some help. Like if you could fix it on your own, you would have already. Exactly. And this is not a situation that you get into, especially like being like, let's say you're 17, 18, you're only there for a summer. You know better. Like, you know that this is like your stepbrother. And like, sure, you just met and yeah, you haven't like, you didn't grow up together or whatever it is, but like, he's still being introduced to you as like a platonic member of your fucking family.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
And it pissed off your parents when they found out that you were hooking up.
Yeah, like that obviously wasn't their intention at all for this to happen. And like, it's just like this happens. Like, this is so different than the Don't Blame Them we had about this, where the girl called in like with permission from her friend, and her friend was like really dealing with her parents' divorce and going through it and was like much younger, and like parents took her to therapy and all of that stuff. This also makes sense to me that your parents, like, you guys are fucking adult, like you're 18, like you're legal adults at that point. Like, of course your parents don't know and aren't really involved in this because like they're thinking, oh, my 18-year-olds, like our 18-year-old kids aren't gonna just like, it's just so weird. Like, again, like all of my friends who like have step siblings or like got step siblings, whether it was like in high school or later, like the relation, it was always like, oh God, like this step sibling, like this kind of thing, like maybe we'll get along, but more likely than not, like it's kind of like a turf war. It's not like a, hey, let's fuck. And if you were only there, if you met him and like you were only shared a car and had that for like one summer, that's like the first couple months you meet him, you guys hook up. Like, this isn't, again, this happened in Gossip Girl, but like fucking Serena and Dan were dating before their parents. Like it just like this is so not a thing, and you have to go to therapy because he's gonna date other people because guess what? He's not going to marry his stepsister. Like it's not gonna happen. And I obviously think that he's got some fucked up fucking issues, but you're the one calling in, and I hope we can like get to you and like reach you in saying like, again, like this comes from like a place of like care. Like we care about like everyone who listens to our show and like the people who call in, but like you have to get this shit figured out. Like you have to get your shit figured out because this is seeing him with girls that he dates and all of that shit. It's not going to get any easier and it's not going to change. You don't need to sleep with someone else and you don't need a distraction.
You don't need to sleep with anyone right now. You need to figure out your own stuff. Like getting a distraction, that's not going to fix the problem. All you're putting a fucking it's going to be a distraction and that's it. You have to get actual help. Mm-hmm. Like your parents
distractions,
don't, and
not
you can't
progress.
And you even were taught. You said that you just want to cut him out of your life. So if you cut him out of your life, you're going to have to cut I think it's your mom, right? Because it was his dad that found out.
I think so.
Right, and so that means if you cut him out of your life, that means you're going to have to cut your mom out of your life because he's always going to be there. You were just seeing each other at a family gathering. You're going to be together for holidays. So you've got to think about the consequences here. You can't just cut him out of your life. You have to figure out how you can get over him.
Yeah, but like it's not like a normal breakup, and it's not like a normal like anything like that. Like this is such a unique circumstance that you should have never been put in, and you put yourself in this situation as like from everything we've heard, like a 17, 18-year-old. This is something that until you figure this out, and I don't say this to be a dick at all, until you figure this out, no relationship is going to be successful. Like no other person, you're not going to date anybody and it's not going to work. Like, because this isn't a circumstantial issue. This is a, how the fuck did I put myself in this situation and how have I been able to rationalize it for so long and let this go on for so long? And like it is self-destruction because going into it, or you should, and I'm assuming that you do, that like you guys were never going to end up together. Even the first time you guys hooked up, like that it was never going to be like, oh, our parents are going to be cool with like us ending up together. Like that's like you're purposefully going out of your way to attract and seek out harm for you, like emotional turmoil and just like absolute bullshit. So I also don't foresee this being, and I'm pretty sure I said this the first time, I don't see this being like an isolated incident of you ending up in a situation that you have no idea how you got there, or in something that like none of your friends can relate to or anything like that. Like it's just, this rational decision making is not there. And like, I don't know why you don't want to go to therapy, because like, I mean, maybe there's a part of you that doesn't want to go to therapy because like you want this to work out with him and you don't want to be told from a therapist, and you don't want to kind of dive down deep and like process this and get through this and then realize that this isn't okay and this is not something that you're into and all of that. Like maybe you don't want to let go of it. It's like letting go of an addiction. Like you don't want to get better, essentially, because like that means that this like possibility and this like this whatever you thought was going to happen with you guys is gone. But yeah, and of course he fucking didn't tell you that he was like going to bring a girl to this thing. Wow. This was a fucking roller coaster of a goddamn episode.
What an episode.
I am shooketh. Like I am like not well. Like I feel like I'm gonna like the rest of, I have like a Zoom call with my friends later. I feel like I'm just gonna, I am like, I don't know. I feel like I'm flubber. Like I just like don't feel like I just like, what is going on? Like what the fuck? Like what the fuck? Sometimes this show makes me feel so fucking like vanilla. Like it makes my life feel so, and my life, like I will say, is like not vanilla. Like if you've read my book, it's not vanilla. And also if you could have read the first draft of my book, it's like, but this makes me feel like fucking artificial vanilla. Like, not even vanilla bean.
Yeah. Vanilla artificial flavoring.
Yeah.
Made in a lab.
Uh-huh. And like, it makes me feel like almost like fucking like Dippin' Dots. Like vanilla ass Dippin' Dots. Also, when was it going to be the future? They never told us when.
They didn't.
So,
they didn't. And vanilla Dippin' Dots just tastes like frozen creamy ice.
It does. Okay, guys. Well, if you want to be on an upcoming episode, your life doesn't have to be like this. But if it is, the more the merrier. So please give us a call. Leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. And international listeners, you can send us an audio file at meghanpodcast@gmail.com.
Buy Megan's book.
Oh, yeah. Buy my book. You're Not Special. I was just going to hold it up for the camera, but that's fine. It's out now.
Mine finally came.
It did?
Yeah.
One of
my Spider-Man to bring it over here.
Spidey senses. Monts' came too. He finally has one. Yes. And he's only read part of it, but it's fine. I'm shaken. I'm shaken up. Anything else? Oh yeah, follow podcast on Instagram. Don't Blom Meme Pod. We're getting pretty close to 10K, and then we can do swipe up links, and that's really all we care about. Also, please don't DM us for advice on the podcast. We only do advice on the podcast Instagram. We only do advice here. And also, if you DM us asking for advice on the podcast Instagram, and you also don't even follow the podcast Instagram, just know that I think less of you. Like, just know that I am looking at that going, shitty.
That's how I feel, too, when people ask how they can join the Facebook group.
And they're not following the podcast. No, that's how I feel, too. I'm like, Okay, guys, that's it for our episode. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Don't Blame Me is a production by me, executive produced by Melisa de Monts, camera operator Amanda Lechner, and music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso.
Listening to a podcast should be time well spent, and I promise it will be if you'll give this podcast a try. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in every episode, I talk with leading experts on topics I know you will find fascinating. From why people can't keep secrets, what your favorite music says about you, why your pet acts in strange ways, and so much more. Something You Should Know is designed to give you information you can use in your life and give you great intel that you can share with others. I'm told it's a binge-worthy podcast. And with over 1,000 episodes, there's a lot to binge on. Something You Should Know has been ranked in the top of the Apple Podcast charts consistently for a long time. I know you're going to like this. I just need to get you to try it. Something You Should Know. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go Network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. Positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go Network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.